Functional medicine is unaffordable for the ordinary person. Hi, I'm Dr. Chellam, founder of Holistic and Integrative Center of Novi, the best place for you to find your best doctor, and that is always you. You know, I make that statement because this is a practice that tries to empower you through education, and this is going to be one of those videos. I hear the statement all the time when people are looking at a functional medical practice. Oh, this is so unaffordable. Let me go over the cost structure of traditional medicine, which is our insurance-based medicine, and a functional medical practice. Now, traditional medicine is geared to you putting in money into the system for a possibility of a catastrophic event. The catastrophic event is a cancer. Because if you have an accident, motor vehicle accident, that's your motor vehicle insurance would cover it. But we're really talking about catastrophic cancer or gallbladder removal or a diverticulitis with a colon surgery. These are all catastrophic events. What is very important to note is we are preparing for disease that becomes inevitable due to lifestyle issues. So let's look at the cost structure. Traditional medicine, you do premiums, and the average premium can be anywhere. So an individual spends about $345 per paycheck, so it's 2 paychecks. So anywhere from between $790 to almost $1,000. And most people have families. So anywhere from $7,500 right up to $25,000 are your premiums. So let's make it even and just call it $10,000 in premiums for your traditional medical care. Functional medicine, and somebody who chooses functional medicine is still paying the traditional medical care because of that thought, I may have something catastrophic, so let's say $10,000 even for that. Now the cost to go see a traditional medical doctor, somebody who covers insurance, if you have an ongoing disease process, you have a deductible of say $5,000. That's the average. Deductibles can vary from $1,500 all the way up to $10,000 a year. What does a deductible mean? Until you meet and you spend this much amount, your insurance will not kick in. So a good majority of us are paying $10,000 plus whatever we can do, sometimes all the way up to $5,000. I've had people call me and say, I've met my deductible, now can we do all those tests? So a deductible of $5,000. Functional medicine, the first time you see a good functional medical practice, it may cost you $5,000 because this functional medicine is not about just encounters, it is about education, it is about health transformation. So this, I would say, is an investment, but of course I'm biased because I'm a functional medical doctor, but I'm going to help you understand how you should be looking at it. So you have a $5,000 deductible. What does a deductible do to you? As much as you value your health, if I asked you what is the price of your health, everybody unanimously tells me it's priceless. But you don't want to go to the doctor because each time you go, you have to shell out money. So what do? Ailments like allergies, you buy Claritin over the counter. You get Flonase over the counter. You get Tums for your heartburn, or you may get over-the-counter Prilosec. You may get Motrin or Tylenol for all those little aches and pains. And you may continue to take that till you come to the day you can go in for your annual physical exam, because in your mind, that 15-minute annual physical exam, which is a checklist, is free. But actually you've paid already $10,000 that particular year for that one annual physical exam. Yes, they don't dip into your $5,000, but you are spending on over-the-counter medications, and go and check your bills and see how many times you walk through Kroger or Meijer and walk by the pharmacy, pick up that cold medicine or the headache medicine or the stomach pill. It's almost $60 to $100 a month on various products. Now, in functional medicine, a good functional medical practice will not do sporadic encounters. Come and see me twice a year and give you a whole bunch of supplements or other gadgets trying to tell you to do self-treatments at home and sell you stuff that you would take home and use for $3,000, $5,000. But a good functional medical practitioner will look at your test your genetics and tell you what kind of supplements you need to be on. And a good portion of us spend somewhere, let's make it even, let's make it $100 on supplements, a B complex, vitamin D, whatever it may be, over the counter. So over the counter, they're all even. As you can see, both functional medicine and traditional medicine is even, except that this is a one-time fee, and hopefully you will never need to use this kind of insurance once you go through functional medicine, and I'll show you in a minute how. Lab. Traditional medical practice covers routine labs, which are $10, a CBC, and probably a basic metabolic profile, just making sure kidneys and glucose is fine. That's about $10. And you don't have to pay it because it goes out from your deductible. Whereas here, it could be anywhere from $400 to $800, again, goes out from your deductible. Encounter. Each encounter, besides your annual physical exam, you are going to pay for it from this $5,000. So let's say each encounter is on an average $150 for a 7-minute encounter. Here, all of the encounters are included in this $5,000, and those encounters will be determined by your need, the time in that encounter. It may be half hour, it may be 1 hour. It all depends on your need. So really, for each encounter, you've already paid up front. Follow-up, you've already paid in functional medicine. Every follow-up has an encounter of $150. Again, comes from this $5,000. So in many ways, you can say for now, you're not paying anything extra but the $5,000. What is the outcome from going to these two different doctors? The outcome in traditional medicine is a diagnosis that you will maintain or control. In other words, you go to the doctor, you go to all the specialists, you still have your high blood pressure, you still have your high cholesterol, you still have your diabetes. Here, the outcome is resolution. How can we get to the root cause of your lifestyle-induced disorders, give you the education, and actually help you shift in a nourishing way? It has to be something that where you are allowed to make those changes at your pace, so you can actually overcome these diagnoses. Long term, you still are taking the over-the-counter medication plus prescription drugs plus visits, and this continues for a lifetime, because once a diabetic, you're always a diabetic unless you figure out why you have diabetes. Whereas here the long term is probably once a year you need to see for an encounter, which might be $250, which can go back to your deductible, but you're done. You don't have to go to refill many of your medications. This is a recurring cost every year. So let's say on an average you are paying $100 for over-the-counter, and each prescription, your copay is $25. You have an average of 3 or 4 prescriptions, say another 100. So $200 a month for the rest of your life, in addition to the $10,000 you pay in premiums. That's your cost of doing the traditional medicine as your only option. It's a recurring expense that is there for a lifetime. The average American works about 30 years, so you can imagine putting away $10,000 each year for 30 years, plus continuing to pay monthly recurring fees for your visits, for your over-the-counter medications, as well as your prescription drugs, which will only continue to increase if you do not address it early. In functional medicine, the chances your prescription drugs will go down are very, very high. Let's say you're only able to get off everything except one medicine, maybe $25 a month, and usually the medicine that you can never get off would be something like a seizure medicine or insulin if you're a type 1 diabetic, or the other is an arrhythmia. For the heart rhythm abnormality, you may not be able to get off those medicines. But in general, if you come to a functional medical doctor and you've been empowered and you've made those changes, the chances you will get off all of your blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetic medicines are extremely high. So you remove those medications, so the recurring costs go down. Now, following year, you still will be having this unless it's gone up, and usually it goes up every year. But a functional medical, this goes away, and it's only either a small visit fee or a yearly membership fee, which is really very affordable and can go towards your deductible. So when you really look at what is unaffordable, living your whole life paying into a system to maintain your disease process, to maintain your diabetes, to maintain your high blood pressure, maintain your anxiety, depression, insomnia, migraine headaches, that is unaffordable. Like they say, when you go to functional medical doctor, getting to the root cause and trying to resolve it in an equal partnership is freaking cheap. And once you get it resolved, you can actually buy insurance that is not this expensive. I hope all of this makes sense. Go back, check on your bills, look at the costs endured by this. And also keep in mind, we are paying into a system because we think something catastrophic is going to happen. Even when something catastrophic happens, like a cancer, 20% is still your responsibility. 100,000 for a cancer, you still have to have over and above this 5,000, 15,000. The chances that you will have something catastrophic of lifestyle-induced disorders is almost non-existent if you have been educated by a functional medical doctor. I'm Dr. Chellam, founder of Holistic and Integrative Center of Novi, the best place for you to find your best doctor, and that will always be you.